On today's date, with regard to all the matters that I've experienced and with regard to all the matters I've relayed on these uploads, and with regard to my previous upload, just with mentioning of the charade and the superficial developments and the issue of false reporting and the issue of fraudulence with regard to individuals trespassing upon my family home, trespassing upon my child, and the issue of the very same individuals having had caused since January 2017 an awful deterioration in the circumstances and standards of faith and family, basically. In a previous upload, I've mentioned there's been 3 or 4 spiritually vile, treasonous offences against my royal identity and position and title. All 4 attempts of treason have failed, and the spiritual violence has continued. These individuals have claimed to be reformed. They have claimed to have cleaned up their act, and they have still persisted in an attempt to shirk the responsibility they owe to society and my family for their artificial developments that have harmed nature and wildlife and privacy and information. So this entire situation prior to 2017, when my son was unlawfully separated from me, has been quite poisonous. It's a contamination that they have spread throughout this community and society at large. And with regard to my spiritual work and my spiritual cleansing in society, that has had a legislative and societal and spiritual impact at large, at home and abroad, that has curbed their financial fraud, that has curbed their offences. I am quite astonished that I'm experiencing these individuals violating my protection and my abode and my privacy. So with regard to the Hippocratic Oath and the issue of spiritual violence, the bodily integrity damages and the medical care that I haven't received, and that was an issue for my son in 2016. I'm quite concerned about the integrity of the medical practitioners in this situation, also that the Medical Council are aware of since 2017. So it's, as I've mentioned, a sad sign of the times. The Honourable Government is fully aware of all the circumstances and the culprits, and the very fact that the United Nations have been alerted to this matter since I contacted them, and that I am still awaiting for my safety and my rights and my wealth and my property to be fully restored to my name only, and that there are individuals that are responsible for contaminating society and for causing harm to my child, still causing problems and still liable and still of false reporting and fraudulence, is a highly concerning issue. So as a humanitarian of international protection, I'd appreciate it if the United Nations would address the very serious nature of spiritual violence and the treason attempts that I have endured and the harms that my child has experienced also. Those contaminating society since 2016, and those taking credit for my good work, my input in societal and legislative developments, this entire issue, those individuals perverting and obstructing justice, and that are basically withholding what they have no entitlement to, is all a huge issue that I'd appreciate the United Nations addressing in my home country, Ireland. It's quite dangerous what they've done since 2016, and as regards nature and wildlife and my farm holdings and my nuptials and my beautiful child, I'd appreciate women and children's rights agencies contacting me via email with regard to the liabilities I'm still confronted with and that are in my proximity and that are still of fraudulence and false reporting. I don't appreciate this circumstance occurring for any human being, and particularly in my circumstances with my good work that I've conducted. I'm highly astonished that the culprits of contaminating society with their venom and their bad behaviours, actions, thoughts and words would still be facilitated in any way. So the Honourable Government of Ireland, I hope you're aware that the obligations to my royal patronage haven't been honoured, and my good name has been slandered by individuals that have no right to be within 20 kilometres of my proximity. And my child is still a missing person with an unlawful care order in action since 2017. So that's my upload for now, and that's an update for the attention of the United Nations and the issue of human rights abuses that I've experienced.